You know, lately I've been well, I wouldn't even say lately, I say at the last couple of years. I've been off and on with this one topic, and I had to say that's probably the scariest part about dying. Most people are concerned with the aftermath of what's going to happen next. That just never has been my concern. My concern has always been being buried or being cremated. Now, I always went back and forth about those, and I'm gonna talk about my thoughts about burial and being cremated. Um, but first, I want to say those two have always been the options. But I have seen some shit, like in other countries and things like that. They actually like preserve the bodies, and some people actually still have like their loved one like at home sitting on the couch, and they've been there for years. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm gonna leave that right there for now. But let's talk about the being buried and being cremated. Here's my issues with those choices. Now, being buried. Let's start there. My problem with that is just, I drive by a lot of cemeteries every day. Or when I do leave, I always have to go past at least like four different cemeteries. And what I do, I always see how empty they are. Loved ones, not too many loved ones are there, you know? And that always just fucks me up. Like where I live at right now, like literally around the corner and down the street is a cemetery. It's not gated off or anything like that. And across the street from the house is, I mean, from the house, across the street from the cemetery is some houses literally less than 10 feet away, right? Now, I'm sitting here last night and I'm just thinking, like, damn, you could be going to bed or in there getting some ass or have your kids in the living room watching TV, and right across the street is hundreds of deceased people. I have a weird way of thinking, but that's just how I think about it. Like when I'm driving down the street, I always seem to like turn my music down a little bit sometimes when I'm going past. It just seems hella disruptive to just have like civilization just like right there. People are resting in peace, trying to rest in peace, and motherfuckers across the street barbecuing and shit. And life does go on, yeah, which is a scary part about being buried. Yes, life does go on, as it should, but that's the part that makes me think. Like, so say, so say I get buried, right? Yeah, I'm gone, but I'm gonna be one of those graves that After a while, is motherfuckers just gonna stop coming to see me? After a while, motherfuckers just gonna just be driving past? After a while, like let's say, let's say I'm married and we got kids, right? And I die in California, and we all living in California, and eventually, 5 years later, kids want to up and move to fucking Nebraska. I don't know. It's just the random shit that's popping up, and I'm just left in a grave in California. While motherfuckers is just gone, and I'm just forgotten about. I'm just in a grave, just there. I get that I'm dead, but that's still me. I'm still there. And you know I'm right there. Like if my wife or my child had died, I'd I'd be at that cemetery every day. Like I could see myself getting off work, taking my blunts, sitting at the cemetery for a couple hours, watching me whatever I watch on some YouTube or something, just chilling, hanging out with my daughter or my wife. Go home, do the same shit the next day. Just because like mentally I know like you're still right there still. You know what I'm saying? You're still right there. So it's to see all those graves, and some of those sites don't have visitors for years. For years. That's a long ass time. It's like I know maybe you're not forgotten about because you know people always want to keep the memories of you and have the pictures and things like that. But I'm still there though. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's like I'm still there. That's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. Now, when it comes to cremation, it's kind of a better deal in a way. You get you an urn, and maybe you're posted in the living room or the bedroom, and you're not left alone, right? But my problem with that is I seen how they do cremations, right? That shit fucked me up. Put the body in this box, and it's this big ass oven thing. And they slide the box in there, close the damn door, leave you in there for whatever the fuck the amount of time is, and when you're done, it's basically just all ash and shit. Now, here's the thing that fucked me up about that is when I had washed it, you know, it's all ash, but sometimes it'll be like those pieces that you just gotta like crumple down. And they had like this metal thing, and they just like smashed the rest of the skull and like just scooped it uh, uh in this shit, and then went into a bag and they put it in the urn. Like motherfucker, did you just like crush my skull with a motherfucking metal pipe, motherfucker? Like that shit was hard to take in. Like you gonna sit here and just burn me, motherfucker? Like you gonna sit here and just burn me? Like nah, that's hard to just deal with too. Like just to know, like, can you imagine? Like I know people just think of it as cremation. Like I said, I think weird, uh, or just a little different. If that was like me, you know, and you knew that okay, well, my friend or my husband or my brother, which is me, is about to be getting cremated today, like at 1:30. Ain't that gonna like fuck you up at 1:30 to know that your brother or your loved one or your husband or your dad, me, is just in the oven just being burnt to fuck up and about to get and just about to just be given to you in a box? You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, that's some shit to take in. That's some shit to take in. So that brings me to my point about preserving the bodies. Cause if I could do that shit, that's what I want to do. Post me up, um, in my motherfucking room or my motherfucking living room, and just let me post up. You know, just let me sit like this, man. You know what I'm saying? Put a blunt up in my motherfucking hand and just let that motherfucker burn. And when that shit get too close, don't let it burn my finger. You dig what I'm saying? Just take it out and put me another one up in there every couple hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, just preserve my shit. Let me kick back and see cool. Don't put me in no dirt. Don't dig me no holes, nigga. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Fuck around and you know, don't put me in no oven. Preserve me and sit me on my motherfucking living room. Like, let me see what's popping. Let me see what's cracking. But that's the route that I want to go if I'm able to do so. Yeah, like I said, don't dig me no holes. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit here and put me in no oven, man. Let's clean cuz up and let's preserve this beautiful ass face. Let's put me on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Or put me in the bed. You know what I mean? And that's how we come in. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that though? Have you ever thought about um how you wanna how you wanna be? You wanna be buried? You wanna be cremated? Have you thought about the preservation of the body? Did you know about the preservation of the body? Um, yeah. Are you unsure how you want to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at with it. I don't want neither one of them. So let me just get that preservation though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm curious to know the world's thoughts and comments on that right there. You know what I mean? But that's some horrible ass shit though, especially when you go to a funeral and then y'all go to the gravesite. Like, I really don't know. It's kind of like two hits in one day. If you got like an open casket and then you do your viewing, you saying that goodbye, but then that's not even the last goodbye. That shit really don't really kick in too hard. Like, it kicks in again when they close it, and then you go to the gravesite, and then when they drop the casket in there and start to cover that shit up, that's when that shit hit. And that's when you all alone. Like on some real shit. That's really how I see it though. That's really how I see it. Um yeah, man, like shit, if I had to bury one of my own personals, man, I'm having barbecues at the grave site and the whole shit. Like I'm eating dinner outside in the car outside the grave and whatever the fuck I got to do. Like on some real shit. I don't know. It's just weird to just and I couldn't just move out of state. You know what I mean? If I did have to bury one of my, someone close to me type shit in my household, I couldn't just move out of state. If I if I moved out of state, I'm gonna have to get whoever digged up, and I'm gonna have to relocate that casket to a whole nother state as well and rebury in the whole shit. I just couldn't up and leave and that's just the end of the story and just leave you there and ain't nobody visiting and just leave you by yourself. I just couldn't do that shit. I don't know. That's just how I think though. Maybe I'm doing too much, but that's just where I am with it. But like I said, drop me a comment most definitely. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. Clearly, you see where I stand. So, hey.